Warning. This program contains very strong language from the outset. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to another But Why? This is Shalaka Kurup, and we're here with Drew Stearne. Drew, do you want to tell us what our question for today is?
Yes, our question for today is, as a roast battler, are you always thinking mean things?
Yes.
Like constantly, like every part of your day, every interaction with everyone you meet?
No, I don't think I'm always thinking mean things. I think I think there are mean things that I could be thinking at any given moment. I just don't let myself have access to them until it's roast battle time.
So you have it constantly on a trigger, like it's ready to go, it's cocked, but you don't fire it until it's absolutely time.
Yeah, I didn't realize just how much I have the potential for mean thoughts until someone annoys me, and instantly something will pop into my head with a speed that is probably very unhealthy.
Has that evolved over time, or has that always been part of your kind of psyche?
I think it's been part of my psyche. It's just funnier now.
Okay, it's actually useful.
Yeah, my mean thoughts are just funnier now. And then sometimes somebody will annoy me so much and I'll have a thought about them. And I'll wish that I'll write it down to repurpose to use against someone else at a roast battle.
That's the thing. I find that when I first started doing roast battle, I'd never really verbalized any mean things I thought about people. Mm-hmm. I think trying to be a people pleaser, trying to be liked by people, you kind of hide that stuff away. Mm-hmm. And what I realized is that it was always there, but it was just kind of compressed down. Yeah. And then after doing a couple of roast battles where you spent some time just writing about one particular person, it got to the stage where like, oh, now I might be battling any of these people from the regulars. I'll start files on all of them, and anytime I have a thought about them, I'll write it down. And then you realize you're just starting to write files on people who aren't even roast battling, and then celebrities, and then friends, and like this list starts getting bigger. And then whenever you come to battle someone, you go like, oh, what's this person like? You just look up all the people that they have stuff in common with and start pulling jokes from that. I found it very cathartic. Like it's been an outlet for something that I've repressed for a very, very long time.
Yeah. Also, it's the only context in which a male comedian can have files and a bunch of people, and it's not a problem.
Good point. Well raised. It's also just occurred to me in an era where we're seeing the Epstein files being released, that if one day I do something horrific, all of these files are going to get released. And in my notes file, it has just occurred to me, there is some
horrible stuff in there. Oh, we all have that.
Yeah, but it's the stuff that doesn't even make it out. Like you're like, I can't say that. And instead of it being a piece of paper which you can ball up and throw in a bin, I've got it actually on a backed up to the cloud note. Very poorly password protected.
Hey, at least there's no images.
No.
Uh-oh.
I'm mentally trying to scan through my notes app. No, there are no images. But it's being mean. I think the misconception is that I don't think we're ever being mean. It's that we're trying to write jokes.
Yes. Yeah.
You're trying to take an observation, and you're not trying. You don't write these jokes because you dislike someone or hate what they are or hate what they look like. It's just like, I have a room full of 50 people that I need to make laugh. What about this person can I latch on to?
And I think some of the best jokes I've written are for people who I genuinely love as human beings. Jack Trainer and I had never met in our lives, and I just loved his stand-up so much. So I put in a lot of effort into that roast battle. And from the second we stepped onto the stage, I was like, this guy's going to be one of my friends forever.
Yeah.
But it comes from that place of respect, of genuinely liking someone's personality or their vibe, or liking them as a friend. And also, I think some of the friend roast battles are some of the best ones.
You have license to do more.
Yeah. They can be hit and miss. Mm-hmm. There's a tension that floods the room every time it's a female-male roast battle, and then it's revealed that they slept with each other. Mm. That's a weird tension where I think it kind of does the battle a disservice. Yeah. Where after that, everything seems like a petty squabble. And I think for friendship, it's the opposite. When it's revealed, or at least as the impression that two people are really good friends, I think it actually makes the battle a lot more enjoyable.
I agree that there's something about a friendship relationship that makes for a very good, a loving friendship relationship that makes for a very good roast battle, where if you see a battle between two people who don't like each other,
it's evident.
It feels like the jokes don't land to the opponent like they do to the audience. They're more pointed. They're more, and there are some pairings that I could think of where that certainly has been the case in the past. But it doesn't make a better roast battle for the audience, even though it's technically meaner.
Yeah.
And so that the idea of writing jokes about people being mean, we describe it as a shorthand.
Yeah.
And on paper they are mean. They are
Yeah.
they're bully observations. There's stuff that at school that would be unfair to do, and you shouldn't do to people who aren't giving a fair chance
it's all
to
about
get back
consent,
at you.
isn't it? Yeah.
It's like that idea of consent is so important
Yeah.
to it in general in life, but you're not just saying mean things about the person who isn't in the room.
Yeah.
You know, you might be punching down at someone, but now they're going to punch down on you. They're
Yeah.
going to find those things, and that's the difference between the kind of what cancel culture might go after in a comedian.
Yeah.
We say way worse stuff on stage at roast battle, but you say it to that person's face. So Oscar Wilde said that a true friend stabs you in the front.
Yeah, exactly that. Yeah. I think there's also something to be said for people misunderstanding that when they come in for a roast battle.
Yes.
The number of times I've seen people come in for a roast battle and their mentality towards the whole thing is, I can't wait to destroy them.
Yeah.
I can't wait to make them feel bad. You instantly know before the battles even happened that it's going to be. Like, I remember back in the day, there was a roast battle where a female comedian, I will not name, did a roast battle against a male comedian who I will not name, who had slept with one of her friends. And him and that friend were no longer together. And that was introduced as a concept quite early on in their roast battle when they were on stage. And what followed was the most uncomfortable, what felt like an hour of my life sitting through that roast battle, knowing that someone's gone on there just in order to get revenge and hurt someone.
Yeah. It's not what the show is for.
Not even. I think the show is for best friends saying the things that they normally say to their best friends.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That there's a lot of I don't know if it's in particular the same with women, but it certainly is with my friends.
Yeah,
we
ribbing.
talk a lot of shit about each other.
Yeah,
and this is and that's on equal footing. Like you've come together as a group of friends because you expect and retort with that.
Yeah.
And that's what roast battle is. It's two people up on stage. Often, in fact, for me, I didn't come into comedy knowing a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I came into roast battle as a complete outsider. Didn't know a single person. And so everyone I've met at roast battle, it's usually I've met them when I battle them for the first time, especially early on when I wasn't really talking to anyone outside of the roast battles. So you don't have that opportunity to do it like a friendship. But almost every single time I've become friends with those people that I've battled afterwards.
Yeah.
Like you share that thing, and then the next time you battle them, you feel closer. And subsequently now, when I get paired up with people, it's usually people that I know from the scene.
Yeah.
And it feels nicer. It's less risky. You know that they are going to receive the jokes in the spirit with which they're being told.
Also, there's I think one thing that's not talked about very often is that there's ways to create that friendship without having established it. Because most of my roast battles have been against people I've never met before.
Yeah.
But there are ways in which you can both come. Obviously, I've battled people where I've tried to bring this into the battle and it's just not been met with any reciprocation. But there are ways to create that friendship as you're doing the roast battle on stage, listening to each other, laughing at each other's jokes.
Yeah.
Saying stuff like, oh, that was great, or just visibly smiling, laughing, showing some sort of goodwill, showing some sort of respect while you're on stage during that battle. That's how you create, if there isn't that friendship, if not, like worst case scenario, an impression of friendship. Best case scenario, you create that actual friendship while you're on stage with each other.
It creates a better show. It makes the audience, if the audience feels the other person isn't taking it well, it puts them on edge.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing, again, that you're doing this with consent and the other person is in the joke. I've seen a battle, and I have the footage of it between two people, and one of them really didn't take the jokes very well at all.
Yeah.
Clearly not really understood what they'd signed up for, and it soured the whole night because the audience was like, oh, do they all feel like that? Are they all getting hurt by this? And the fact is, virtually all of us
don't give a shit.
We're kind of bulletproof.
Yeah.
Like the great thing about roast battle is it's complete ego death. Like there's nothing left of your ego on stage at all because you've laid it all out like bare. There's nothing left. There's nothing anyone can say that's really going to hurt you, which is great for day-to-day life.
Yeah.
I know there's nothing anyone can say to me that's going to hurt me. Yeah. Because I've heard it all before. From people who've tried really hard to say something mean. But
I thought that when I got cancelled on the internet, and there were men sending me DMs or writing comments about how ugly I was or my septum piercing or things like that, I was like, but I've been insulted by some of the best in the business. You think you calling me ugly on the internet is going to hurt my feelings?
We should recommend it to anyone who's on the internet is to do a couple of rounds of roast battle.
Yeah,
and you're not
let's see how big you are then.
The comment section isn't really going to hold up in that sense. And it's different than being mean in comments, which is anonymous and that is pointed and it's done with malice.
Yeah.
It's the absolute opposite of what roast battle jokes are.
100%, yeah. Thank you for joining us in another But Why. We'll be back with more episodes. See you later on. I've been Shalaka Kurup.
I've been Drew Stearne.
If you'd like to get in touch with us, drop us a DM on Instagram at HardlinesPod. And for tickets to the live show, head over to roastbattle.co.uk/tickets.